Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear viewers everywhere, welcome back to this episode that we were continuing learning few ayat from Surah Ar-Rahman as a proof that we can learn or we can teach Quran effectively. We've studied approximately 7 ayat or so, and I'm quite sure that you are enjoying it. Are you?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. This is, again, the focus here was to prove that we can learn how to memorize while we are learning the meaning. To use these techniques, use whatever technique that you want to explain the meaning, whether by using your hands or gestures, your body language, some pictures, you can use the TV, use anything to make the meaning clear. And try to check the meaning, try to check the understanding of the students from time to time to be sure that the meaning is correct. The key word here is correct, right? Because the pronunciation, you can see that sometimes I ignore some pronunciation problem, right? And this is intentionally, I do it because some of these take some time. You can see that I do almost everything, but in a real lesson, I would have a tape recorder with me and I would let it play to give myself some comfort and to let the students do the hard work. I'm not going to do the hard work. Yes, I want to save my energy. So that's what, if you plan well, so you can get a tape recorder or any program that would do the job for you. But something that's helpful usually, if the students got used to one voice, it becomes easier for them to imitate it. You see what I'm saying? So you understand, because my tone will be a little bit different from the tone of the reciter, who is much, much better than my recitation. So bear this in mind. Okay, we will continue doing this. I hope you are enjoying it. Inshallah, we will continue doing this. We'll review all of them together from the beginning. Just repeat after me. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Yes, it's enough to say it once in the beginning of the episode and that's it. Yes, and by the way, some people would say Bismillah in the beginning. Some people would prefer to say A'udhu billahi. Yes, the Quran commands us to say A'udhu billah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Ar-Rahman. علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان. ما شاء الله, ما شاء الله. Are the meaning clear? Are you sure? Yes, Judan here does not really mean prostrate. It means prostrate. But here it means to submit. But I'm using this sign as a sign of submission. Okay, who can say the 8 verses that we studied?
Ar-Rahman allama al-Qur'an khalaqa al-insan allamahu al-bayan الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان.
جميل. وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط. وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط. Establish the weight fairly. Again, it talks about al-mizan, right? Do everything fairly, right? وَأَقِيمُوا الْوَزْنَ بِالْقِسْطِ وَأَقِيمُوا الْوَزْنَ بِالْقِسْطِ وَأَقِيمُوا الْوَزْنَ بِالْقِسْطِ وَأَقِيمُوا الْوَزْنَ بِالْقِسْطِ. Right? Okay, say it. وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان ولا تخسروا الميزان. Don't ever make imbalance in the scale. ولا تخسروا الميزان ولا تخسروا الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان تخسروا الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان ولا تخسروا الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان. Okay, let's go from the beginning.
علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها وميزان
ألا تطغوا في الميزان
ألا تطغوا في الميزان
وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط
وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط
ولا تخسروا الميزان.
ولا تخسروا الميزان.
Jamil, would you like us to do it another time? I know you love playing, okay? And this is part of playing, okay? By the way, children love this very much. I tried it with children of 7 years old. It worked very well. Of course, they learned quicker than you did. Yeah. Anyway, any question? I think we are almost there. We don't want to spend more time. I'm just explaining the technique. The words are very simple. It's very easy to use some pictures and some gestures and some body language to explain it, right? So I can put it even in grade 1 or grade 2. I want you to be sure that not every place in the Qur'an you can do that. There are only few ayat that you have to be very selective. Someone should spend some time to do this. I want to do this, but I have other things to do. I think there are much better people who can do this than I can do. Yes, I hope one of you would do it. Nobody will stop here. Yeah, okay? Questions, comments? I don't like this method. This is very obsolete. Whatever you say whatever you want. I'm open.
What is the meaning of وَأَقِيمُ الْوَزْنَ بِالْقِسْطِ?
Establish the weight or the balance fairly. All the 4 ayats almost have the same meaning. And this tells you that this religion is based on justice and fairness. Yes, okay.
Sheikh, I have a question regarding now we didn't see the Quran and we were reciting as following you.
Yeah.
Is it better than seeing the Quran and the audio and your recitation?
Very good. Yes. This is a very good question, but unfortunately I'm not going to answer it until we take a break. We'll take a break and come back. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back after taking a break, and I hope you enjoyed it. We'll continue our discussion about Surah Ar-Rahman. We learned approximately 10 or 9 ayat of Surah Ar-Rahman in a very short time. And I think, try to imagine if this continues, that you do this every day, that you will be learning perhaps how many pages? 50 pages of the Quran per year. Even if you don't know Arabic, you can do that. Anyway, there was a question here. I said, okay, can you raise the question, please?
Yes, Sheikh, we just learned it without looking at the Quran.
Yes,
if we see the Quran, listen to it,
very good.
Would it be practical?
The question is it better to learn this while we see the Quran? From my perspective, no. Because you're adding a new element of interference that it interferes with you, right? So I said that leave this until the end. I will teach you how to read it now. But okay, so in the first step, you listen to it, you perfect listening to it, you can distinguish the sounds, and I can see clearly that you have reached this level, right? Okay, and then after that, yes, seeing the meaning of it, understanding the meaning, focusing on the meaning, and giving yourself opportunity to memorize it. That's what we have done. If you use the same steps with any surah, you will reach the same thing, right? Okay. Any other question? I expect you to ask many questions, please.
As we are like grown up people, so we don't know the language that well, and we tend to understand the meaning first and then we learn the ayahs.
You're learning at the same time. You're listening and knowing the meaning at the same time.
And we actually learn through the meanings.
You learn through the meaning. The focus here is the meaning and memorization. So now you can recite this in your salah, and I'm quite sure that you will be focusing on the meaning. So it's much better to focus on something that you understand, to recite something in your salah that you understand. Because this is the way you communicate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is to say something that you understand. Anything about the technique, time consuming, it's fun, it's so bad, I'm not going to apply it in other surahs. Yes. Yes.
Alhamdulillah, I tried learning the verses at home. When we learn it by just listening, it's more difficult to memorize. And maybe you can memorize it, but to retain it, it gets difficult. Now, Alhamdulillah, that we know the meaning, inshallah, it will be retained better.
Yes, definitely. Knowing the meaning helps adults in particular to retain the meaning and to retain the memorization. Yes. Any other comment?
Sheikh,
Yes.
techniques. Actually, I want to say in body language is very important for learning, I think.
Okay. It is. It is. Body
Because I'm
language
enjoying when I doing this.
In fact, I do it in a better way, but because we were not prepared to do this. And I do it, I put a picture of a sun, a real picture of a sun, far here. And I put a picture of the moon here. And I put a picture of a najm in a different place. So they would exactly know what they refer to. But here you were using الشمس والقمر النجم والشجر. So in a real place, I would put a very big picture of the sun, right, and the moon, and even the trees in different places. And I put here, usually I put a calendar for calculation to see the calculation. So you would know exactly that you're referring to. So the more you're prepared, I think the lesson would be amazing. And it takes less time. Yes, please.
Another thing I would like to add on is that we are trying to imitate the pronunciation of the teacher.
Yes.
So, Alhamdulillah, we are trying to get the right pronunciation.
Yes.
But as in when we are learning to read, therein we can make faults. But here we are trying to imitate. So, inshallah, I think the pronunciation will be better.
As I said, that part of the work you can do at home. Because if we do it in the school, it takes a lot of time. And that's why I would say that after that, I want you to go and re-listen to it again. Right, just listening. And I would advise you, if you have a reciter or any other program that would give you an opportunity to listen to it. Now we are using your time at home instead of here. We want to focus on the meaning, because this is the thing that we can do, we can correct. But the pronunciation, because it takes some longer time, so we have to understand this. And that's why I may accept 80% of pronunciation or 70%. It's not necessarily to accept 100% pronunciation, because it takes time. Okay?
Sheikh, I have a question. Now, I just heard the way you recited, and that's how I repeated it. But if suppose I go and listen back at home, the reciter might be having a different tone.
Yeah.
Would it be a difficulty
But you
for
will
me?
be able easily to distinguish.
Just because of keeping in mind the meaning.
Listen to many people instead of me. So reciter will be another addition, okay? Of course, he will be the best of us, because you will get the recitation of the best reciter, okay? So, but it will give you this wonderful flavor. You listen to many others now, another one you're going to listen to. And you will discover, oh, I used to pronounce it that way. It's no longer that way. When you get more focus, right, you will see that there's difference, slight difference. But I've seen you during the breaks. You are focusing on the pronunciation. Alhamdulillah, I was very happy, yes.
I did Surah Teen with the first standard class, and we had the pictures on the softboard of a fig and olive, Mount Sinai and Makkah, and I gave them worksheet where they colored the pictures. So the concept was very clear to them.
For children, you have to do this. They live it with, in different ways. You can do this. والتين والزيتون وطور سنين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين. How would you explain this, my picture? ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين. And then be very cautious because this is very tricky. Yes, it may take you to slip. So I want you to understand this. That's why I selected a surah that it doesn't have question marks. So we have to guard our religion. So yeah, because in Surah Al-Fil, there is nothing sacred about it. You see what I'm saying? أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ فَعَلَ رَبُّكَ بِأَصْحَابِ الْفِيلِ. أصحاب الفيل, there is nothing sacred about them, right? أَلَمْ يَجْعَلْ كَيْدَهُمْ فِي تَضْلِيلٍ وَأَرْسَلَ عَلَيْهِمْ طَيْرًا أَبَابِيلَ تَرْمِيهِمْ بِحِجَارَةٍ مِّن سِجِّيلٍ فَجَعَلَهُمْ كَعَصْفٍ مَأْكُولٍ. It's very easy. It's easy. It doesn't talk about things that are difficult to. You see what I'm saying? This is my idea. We have to be very sensitive to this issue. Yes.
To represent hell and heaven, some people bring pictures of fire and something like clouds to represent heaven. So is this okay?
I myself am sensitive to this. I am very sensitive to this. And I think the majority of Ahl Salaf, yes, they are sensitive to this matter. I wouldn't fall into this. I myself. Some other people may have different opinion, but this is my opinion. Yeah. First of all, it's some sort of lying. Even you put fire. Is the fire that we see in this life similar to the fire that in hellfire? Definitely not. And again, in paradise, even if you put some fruits and something, how do you know that these fruits are there? So I think it's Ahl Salaf would avoid doing this. That's why I said that not every chapter that you can do this. Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab. My daughter, when she was young, she used to do this. Yeah. Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab. Yes, ma aghna anhu maluhu, and she would carry some money, right? Wa ma kasab wa imra'atuhu. Now you can talk about anything about imra'atuhu, Jamil. The ugliest picture you can use. وَامْرَأَةُ حَمَّالَةَ الْحَطَبِ. And you can bring some, yes, woods, right? حَمَّالَةَ الْحَطَبِ فِي جِيدِهَا حَبْلٌ. And you bring habl, right? Min masad. And Surah Al-Masad is very easy to explain, by the way. And the kids love it. Yes. And my daughter, Shayma, yes, used to act this when she was young. Everybody liked to see her. She was 4 years, 5 years, and she loved to act it.
After explaining to the children some of the smaller surahs, can we give them an assignment for the next one so that they can prepare their own actions?
If they have the ability to prepare, yes. If not, it's one of the reasons that I came here and I need some help. I'm working on a project that I called it Memorize It in 30 Minutes. Memorize It in 30 Minutes. I produced the first surah. It's just in 30 minutes, you listen to a new surah, you perfect it, right, saying it, and alhamdulillah, you understand it. So understanding and memorization in 30 minutes. I selected some small surahs in the Qur'an. The other ones, I'll call them, yes, memorize it in 40 minutes, memorize it. I want to cover Juz' Amma, but I need technical support. I cannot do these things by myself. We need sound editing. We need someone. I explained the project to him or to her, and she would take care of that because I don't have the time to spend. But I think it will help Muslims everywhere to understand and to memorize very easily. Yeah, it's the way, the techniques of repetition that we are doing, and sometimes even we cut the ayah into 2 parts, so because it's a little bit long. So we use a lot of techniques that are very helpful in memorizing it. There is no other tape like this, and I hope one day I produce it before I die. If not, one of you would do it. I am willing to sit with any one of you to explain the project, and if he wants to continue the project, I'd be thankful, or a group of you. Yes, any other comment? Let's go back to, yes, comments on memorization, learning. Yes, so I recommend this method, which has repetition with the meaning, right? Of course, the older the students, for example, I can introduce this by explaining the background of the surah and making it a little bit interesting through the surah, going into deeper explanation, right? In any language, not necessarily in Arabic. So they are prepared for the surah, right? Okay. But as you will see in the coming episode, the exact technique, now I'm testing you, if you still can remember the 5 sentences. Who is smarter than others and can begin the 5 sentences from bottom to top. Let's begin from top to bottom. The first one is what?
Hussein.
Hussein. Second?
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam
Hussein
Hussein
في العراق.
ولد
ولد صدام حسين في العراق.
مات صدام حسين في العراق. Wonderful. You have very good memory. Now who can read from the bottom? The last sentence is what?
مات صدام حسين في العراق.
You are reading, okay?
ولد صدام حسين في العراق.
Okay?
صدام حسين
في العراق.
صدام
في
حسين.
العراق. Saddam Hussein and then Hussein.
Hussein.
So you've seen the word Hussein had been repeated 5 times. I used the same technique here. Before I explained Surah Al-Rahman, I introduced you to Surah Al-Rahman. I did the same thing. But instead of Saddam Hussein, right, I used the word Ar-Rahman. So I tried to put Ar-Rahman in different sentences. They're very familiar to understand, very easy to. For example, Ar-Rahman, Allahu Ar-Rahman, right? Allahu Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. So I'm trying to put some sentences to make the word Ar-Rahman, right, repeat. And in this way you can be familiar with it. So wherever the word is, you can distinguish it. And this reminds me of an incident that happened in my life. One of my Bengali friends, and this took place in Texas, Houston in particular, when the first time for him to come to the mosque with his daughter. She was a year and a half. Yes, and he was carrying her, right, the Bengali way, and then once he entered the mosque, right, and immediately she yelled, Allah, Allah, Allah. The word Allah was written, yes, in a calligraphy way, and she has never been to the mosque, but she could distinguish the word. She's never been in the mosque, but she has seen the word itself in different places to the degree that it helped her to remember. So one way of learning is you learn the word as a whole, by the way. All of us, when we learn this as a whole. And there is, if I have an opportunity to show you this, there's some research that says that when you read holistically, you don't read in isolation. Even if there are some mistakes, you will read them correctly, closer to what you have learned. This is how our brain is created by Almighty Allah. I hope we have benefited from this session. We'll continue, but practically to teach you how to learn reading the verse after memorizing it. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Little baby, pure and small, He created you, He created us all. Hush, little baby, don't you fear, we're never alone when Allah's so near. Hush, little baby, breathing so calm, He'll protect us all and keep us from harm. Hush, little baby, still and serene, you are a Muslim, Islam's your deen. Hush, little baby, pure and small, He created